Okay, so here's some extra practice for you for 8-2. These are the first ones we're going to do are the Try These A on page 97 at the bottom of the page. The directions are add or subtract. So we talked about in class at length that I cannot add or subtract scientific notation in leaving it in scientific notation if my exponents on 10 are not the same. Okay, so it's really, really important that I double check that every time, that these numbers are the same. If they are the same, then I can keep going. If they are not the same, I need to change one of them so that they are the same. Okay, it doesn't mean it's impossible to add and subtract. It just means I need to fix them so that I can add and subtract. Okay, so right here they're the same. So my answer is automatically going to have a times 10 to the 9th power in it because I keep the power of 10 the same. And I'm going to add the digits. So 2.3 plus 5.6. If I need to write that down here, I don't know if you do, so I'm going to go ahead and do it off to the side. Little side work here. This gives me 9. So 7.9 is, and I have to check, is that scientific notation? Yes, it is. So my work is done. Okay, moving on. Same thing here. My answer is going to be in times 10 to the negative 2 power because my exponents are matchy-matchy. And then I'm subtracting. So I have 9.1 minus 2.5. Now, of course, we can do this in our calculator, and it is faster, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the regroup method here. So 11 minus 5 is 6. 8 minus 2 is also 6. So I get 6.6 times 10 to the negative 2. I need to double check, is that scientific notation? Why, yes, it is. It's between 1 and 10, so I'm good to go. Okay, last one of the try these. I have addition, so I've got 8.4 plus 7.2. 4 plus 2 is 6. 7 plus 8 is 15. And then are my exponents the same? Whew, I should have checked that first, but yes, it is. So 15.6 times 10 to the negative 5th. Not scientific notation. I need to fix it. So this guy has to go over. I just made that number smaller, so this number needs to get bigger, which means I need to add 1 or make my thermometer warmer. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the check your understanding. We did 1 or 2 of these in class, but we didn't have time for all of them, so I'm going to work them now. They're all add and subtract, so I'm going to just go through here and see if my exponents are the same. Same, 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 same. Okay, so I don't have to do anything except write. My answer is going to have that after it. Now, this ideally is not how you work problems in your homework. You don't just run down, you don't just run down through the paper and write partial answers, but I just want to show you that it's literally that much of a no-brainer, right? I don't really even need to think about that part of the problem for this one. I do have another one that the exponents are different just because we have those on our test. Okay, so 2.5 plus 4, 6.5, excuse me, that scientific notation. I'm done. So number 5, 3.4 plus 8.1, I get 11.5. That is not scientific notation, so I need to make this one smaller, the other one bigger, right? Increase the temperature, right, to make it a bigger number. Down here, I've got 6.23 minus 2.1. If I do that in my head, hopefully I'm right. You guys check me on the calculator. Always double check me because maybe I make a boo-boo. I need to fix it. Scientific notation, yes. Last I have 7.2 minus 2.1. So that's going to give me 5.1 times 10 to the negative 2, scientific notation, yes. Okay, so let's do one where I need to change my exponents. If you look here, not the same. Okay, I need to make them the same. Now, I've said this in class several times. It does not matter which one you keep if you change the other one. Okay, so I can choose to keep this one the same and then change over here, or I can keep this one the same and change this one. So it doesn't matter, you will get the same answer no matter what. But first step says make the exponents the same. Okay, so I'm going to, let me just go ahead and keep this one the same. So the first step is to rewrite the one you want to keep the same. The next step is to change this one so it matches. So I am making this one a 5 because it has to match this guy. Let me highlight that. Like green, I can go, right? So I need that to match. Now, I increase this one, right? So this one needs to go down. To go down, to make it smaller, from 5, it's going to be 0.5. 0.51. Right now, when I say go down 1, I don't mean to subtract. We're only changing the place value by 1. That's what's happening here. We change the place value of this giant number in scientific notation is in standard form. We change the place value here, so we have to change the place value here. So when I say down and up, I don't mean add, subtract. Okay, it is what I do physically add, subtract exponents, but I'm really adding or subtracting a whole place value. Okay, so I don't know. I know it's a little confusing unless you see it in standard form with the actual number, but this is a shortcut, and if you trust me, it works every single time. Okay, so I actually am making this number not scientific notation so that I can add. So I have 2.3 plus 0.51, which will give me 2.81 times 10 to the 5th, because I keep the number. Okay, so that's all I have. This is actually from activity practice, which is on page 100. So it's on the second page of activity practice. It's a multiple choice question. So here's all of my work. When I look at the answer, I got the answer D. Right? So when you have your unit test and it's multiple choice, you need to go and have work to show so that you can still get partial credit. So if there's no work to show, then it's just right or wrong, right? But if there's work to show, I would be happy to go back and give you half points. So that's all I have for 8.2. I will see you in class.